What is happening, you Titan fans? Titan Bros are coming back at you again with another preview of the 2023 season. It'll be Titans versus Colts this time around. Revenge game, rematch, however you want to say it. This time, Titans are home. And I'm sure it'll be just a fantastic game.
Yeah, even though at this point of the season, I'm not sure what's a fantastic game. Do we want to win, or is just losing a fantastic game for the Titans? I'm not sure, but
depends on how much of a positive Polly you are, because you can or negative Nancy, because you can make yourself happy or mad with the outcome regardless. You can either be if you win, you can be mad. You choose to be mad because you're ruining your draft placement, or you can be happy because, well, Titans won. Or if we lose, you can be mad because we lost, or you can choose to be happy because it's a better draft pick. So I'll go ahead and address the elephant in the room. There's something weird going on with my lighting, and I look very yellow or orange, like there's a sunset going on right now. But it is 11:30 at night, so definitely no sunset. But without further ado, we can go ahead and hop right on into the video. I'm going to go ahead and jump in. Go ahead. What did you say?
No, I just said okay.
Oh, okay. I'm going to tell you real quick who's out. For the first time ever, there's nobody out for Titans. There is a questionable because Traylon Burks just got thrown in out of nowhere. We're like, basically people were like, there's no end in sight, and just out of nowhere he practices in a limited basis on Wednesday, and he was full Thursday and full Friday, and now he's questionable. Vrabel talked today being Friday, and saying that they haven't gotten the blessing from the medical staff saying he's cleared and good to go yet. But questionable means the door's open. So I'm assuming if he's questionable, Vrabel's just waiting for them to give him thumbs up or thumbs down, and that's just going to be that. I think we've learned at this point not to expect anything out of him. If we get something out of him, great. But he's also been kind of this year. I'm trying to find Daniel Brunskill. He was, he didn't practice today, and we don't know what's up. He went from limited to full on Thursday, and then he was limited again on Friday with a knee, and there's a chance he don't play. So we'll see. I don't know what happened to him because, as far as I understand, he was full on Thursday, and as far as I understand, he didn't get hurt. It's a knee they have him with. But anyways, he has no injury designation, so I guess he is playing then. But everybody else is good to go. And as far as the Colts, there's two players ruled out. That would be Juju Brents, who's a cornerback, and Isaiah McKenzie, who's a wide receiver, but he's pretty low on the depth. Actually, I just lied. It's Jonathan Taylor who's out, not Isaiah McKenzie. Isaiah McKenzie does not have a injury designation, but Jonathan Taylor obviously is ruled out, which if you are wanting Titans to win, that's technically us dodging a bullet. Even though the first thing I'll go ahead and jump right into is the fact that Zach Moss slaughtered us last time.
Yes, he did.
Slaughtered us. He had like 168-ish rushing yards. I think he had 30 receiving yards, so he was just shy of 200 yards. So I guess technically we should probably wish Jonathan Taylor wasn't, because there's no way he would be as good as Zach Moss was against us the first meeting.
Yeah, I would say, honestly, Jonathan Taylor was playing pretty well, being back and all. But I will say, I was looking at stats. I mean, he was not being definitely better than Zach Moss. Zach Moss was having a good year, and he, like you said, he killed us. So I think Jonathan Taylor being out is not really this should help the Titans. I think with Zach Moss, they should be still able to run against all surprisingly not great run defense. I just looked at, we are 15th. That's where we're at. So it's about average. But the only problem with that is we got a bad secondary. So we need something to be good on this defense, and we're not.
Zach Moss has 672 yards and 5 touchdowns on the season, but he has a 4.8 average. And obviously, we helped with every single one of those numbers the first time he played us. So the Titans started off this year with an amazing run defense. And then it just went awful for like 4 weeks. And then it's been better, but the thing is, it's one of those questions where has it been better, or is it the running backs we're going against not as good because we were going against was that something White for the Bucks? What's the running back's name?
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Rashad
about.
Rashad White.
Maybe.
Is that right? Yeah, whoever the Bucks running back was, he's a loser. Not as a person, he might be a fantastic person, but as a running back. And then obviously, Chuba Hubbard for the Panthers is nothing to brag about either. So I don't know if we actually fixed our run defense or if we just are going against bad running backs now. Tier Tart did not play the first game against Zach Moss, so Tier Tart maybe that'll help us some. Because if I'm making keys to the game, like we're doing your classic preview, we're like keys to the game, keys to the victory, and all that stuff, it would obviously be stop the run. Because remember, we had Anthony Richardson, who was he was fine, I guess, and then he got hurt around halftime, and then Minshew finished up, and they would do the thing where they just run on first down, run on second down. If they didn't pick it up on first and second down, then Minshew would just find somebody on 3rd and 2 or whatever.
Which he did. He played
Which he
exceptionally
did.
well.
Which he did. But it all starts with stopping the run. If we can stop the run, then you got to make Minshew do more than just find an easy 3rd and 4 whip route, slant route that just has to hit real quick, and then they just catch it and fall down and just get another fresh set of downs there. That's one thing. Honestly, the whole quarterback situation is different, period, because it started off Anthony Richardson versus Ryan Tannehill. This game's going to be Gardner Minshew versus Will Levis, which I guess that's kind of interesting. Different starting quarterbacks for both teams.
Yeah.
It'll be an interesting game. I don't think there's, and I say this every Titans game, and usually this is just wishful thinking because our defense not afraid to give a bunch of points if it has to. But as I say it often, I think it'll be a low scoring affair.
Yeah, I think it could be. But the Colts, again, I told you this off air, but they're the 8th best at scoring points. So Colts can put points on the board. The defense is pretty decent. They really are. They because they have some couple stats that kind of scales me a little bit. They're 6th best in sacks against our offensive line, so that's scary. And they are 9th best in interceptions. So Will Levis could throw picks against this defense, and they could be getting after him, especially if Daniel Brunts goes out. So I am a little scared that Will Levis is going to cough the ball up, and that's going to put the Colts in short field positions, which is going to help them because the running is 11th and the passing 17th. So that's nothing that scales me too much. But if Will Levis coughs the ball up, that's going to help that offense, be able to put points on the board.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how like last time we played him, we were preparing for Anthony Richardson, and then Minshew came in and just kind of rocked the whole sway of the game, I guess. This time we actually are preparing for him. Last time we didn't know if we were preparing for Jonathan Taylor or Zach Moss, and then it being both, and of course Zach Moss went off on us. But this time we know there's not going to be an Anthony Richardson. We know there's not going to be a Jonathan Taylor. So we know it's going to be Minshew and Moss. You would think that has to help some, right?
You would think, but at the end of the day, you still got to stop it. Like, at least right now, I'm just saying, I don't think our run defense is going to stop Zach Moss that well. And I think our secondary is garbage. I saw a thing that said that Fulton, out of 130 cornerbacks that had a certain amount of snaps, he was like 126th for us. Like, Fulton has been just garbage this year, absolute garbage. So I'm like, Minshew, is he amazing? No, but I actually have full trust that he could light up the secondary. So I don't know. I feel like we can, we know who we're going against, but I think this defense can score. This offense can score on our defense.
Here's the thing. I think Minshew is way better in relief duty than he is a full-time starter, because he started off on fire when he first, stepped in, but he's really slowed, and he's been a turnover machine. He's got 9 touchdowns to 8 interceptions as a starter, but he also has 6 fumbles. So he's been handing out turnovers like they're going out of style. If the Titans are going to win this game, it's going to be because we get a nice like we did last week against the Panthers, where we get a turnover in our own side of the field or in their side of the field, and we get an easy short field to get 7, not 3.
Sadly, that is the only way we can score points. Our offense is garbage still, and it does not drive the field and score touchdowns very many. It might do that once a game, but we do not do that on a consistent basis.
Honestly, about the only way we score touchdowns with Will Levis is like crazy long plays. Because if you think about his first 3 of his first 4 touchdowns in that first game were
big
2 bombs to 2 bombs to Hopkins, 1 bomb to NWI. Then there's another game. Who was that he threw the other bomb touchdown? It was against the Jags because it was just the game was over.
Hopkins,
but he threw a bomb to Hopkins. That's about the only way we score anymore.
And see, that's the thing. Will Levis is like he's added some explosiveness to his offense. That's good, but he's not very good and the offense is not good. You can blame him or put it on everybody, but the offense is just not good at picking up a first down, and you got to be able to do that to have a good offense. You can't make every play an explosive play.
Which is weird because Tannehill was the opposite. Tannehill could move the ball downfield, not downfield, but like move down the field, not in just one play. But we would stall and kick field goals. With like our first game against the Saints, where we kicked 5 of them, and threw 3 interceptions, but that's the best. But it's just I don't know. What's the difference if you're just moving down the field and kicking field goals, moving down the field, kicking field goals? Or you have a whole bunch of drives that don't really have much of anything going, and then you'll throw a bomb touchdown.
Our offense averages 16 points a game, which is, as you can imagine, not good. I can't remember.
Not good.
Ranks everywhere. Because our defense. And you and I talked about this before. It's weird. Like most games we get done, like, man, our defense is not that good. But it averages allowing 20 points a game. That's pretty good in today's NFL. It was like I want to say it was like 6th or 7th best. I can't remember. So our defense does not allow points, but there's something about it that I just don't like. And I think one thing is we're not a clutch defense. When it's time for an offense to score something, we'll allow it. That's what our problem is.
Because that happened against, I think we said 3 times this year, where it was so good all day against the Saints, and they needed one more drive to get down there, get some points, and they went down there, got a touchdown. The game was over. That happened against the Colts the first time, and then it happened to the Steelers on Thursday night, where it's like they're sound all night long, but we just need that one more stop from them, and then that's when they walk down and score a touchdown. Typically.
But so. We have not lost the game at home yet, so I think that will help us. But I think the part what's to me uninspiring is that we didn't blow the Panthers out at home. That
no.
And the Panthers, I think it's safe to say, not just because of the record, but I think they're the worst team in the NFL. Like they are garbage. Well, Patriots are trying to make a run for it, but the Panthers are garbage. Okay, and we couldn't blow them out. Like honestly, we couldn't. What was the final? What did was they only 3 or what was the final score for them?
10-17.
Okay, 10-17. Yeah. So we only won by 1 touchdown against those people. Just 1 touchdown, and I'm like, Colts are clearly better than them. Colts 6-5. Okay, Colts are not a bad team. So we gotta play better if we want to beat them. Now,
it was definitely our worst win. Oh
yeah, definitely.
I mean, an overtime win against Chargers is fun and exciting. A 27-3 whoop down on the Bengals, that's fun and exciting. And then the 28-23 against the Falcons, that was fun and exciting. But just 17-10 against the worst team in the league.
We didn't really do anything well. We didn't run the ball well. We didn't pass the ball well. And they only scored 10 points.
We ran the ball well. We didn't pass it well.
Oh, yeah.
2 touchdowns and over 4-yard average for Henry. Now, Tajay Spears didn't do anything on the ground.
No. But I just feel like, but once again, though, I don't know. We can't sustain drives. Like, yeah, you're right. Because you look at Derrick Henry's box score, stats. If you just look that up, that tells me that's good. 4-yard average, 2 touchdowns. But once again, you know what? We stalled. We stalled too many times. We could not score. 17 points is not good enough. We couldn't keep drives going, and that's what I care about. How many can you move the ball enough to be, move the field position? Because last game, because Panthers, we punted a lot. And also, I would say this, Stonehouse is amazing. He's a great punter. I'll give him that.
Because he probably gets more practice, real-time, game-time experience practice than any punter in the league.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, the defense of the Panthers are not that good. But Colts have a much better defense, so that's going to be tough on us. And I think Colts offense is not great, but I think it's going to be a bit of a challenge for us. Enough that I think, well, we might lose. We'll see. Well, at the end, we'll say what our final scores, what we think. I honestly don't know yet what I think, but
there's I'm kind of on the fence on it. I'm kind of on the fence on where I think we can go ahead and jump into scores because it's not like we have to just throw out some scores and predictions and then call it a day. Like we can expand on it. I feel like I should pick the Colts. I feel like I should pick the Colts because technically they have a winning record. Technically, they're in the playoffs right now if the season were to end today.
Is it Texans or no?
No. With the Texans losing to the Jags and the Colts beating the Bucks, or the Colts are now and the Texans are out, which is weird because Texans I think are way better than the Colts. But anyways, maybe not way better, but I'd say Texans are better than the Colts.
I'll say this: AFC South is an exciting division now. This has been a crappy division, but there's a lot of decent to good teams in the division. You just got one team at the bottom. That's the problem.
That's us.
Yeah, if you haven't noticed, fans, that's us.
Nice to be known for something.
But as you, sorry, I interrupted you. What was you saying about the Colts?
No, you're fine. Like everything tells me like they already beat us once. I'm not ready to say Will Levis is better than Ryan Tannehill. Different. So I mean that'll be something that just kind of switches up because again it's just I feel like they're close to the same level. But hopefully that's because Tannehill's on the decline at being 35 years old and Will Levis is gaining useful experience in the NFL. Some reason, something about us being home and Derrick Henry being verbal this week in interviews about being not happy with the way he played last time against the Colts. I think he said he had 43 yards. He said he cringes every time he thinks about it.
Well, he has some games worse than that, so he should be cringing a lot.
I agree. But of course, then Derrick Henry is so much better against AFC South opponents than he is everyone else in the league for whatever reason. I feel, and in fact, we're 4-0 at home. I feel like we could pull this one out. Colts are probably overall a better team than us. Probably. But I think I still take Vrabel over Shane Steichen, however you say his name. And then we're home. And as you saw from when we went to the Colts, the Titans Steelers game, it really does make a bigger difference than you would think about who's home and who's not. It's just such a.
Well, yeah,
the atmosphere when you're away is just harsh.
Home field advantage is a real thing, and it was fun to experience that. Even though I was in the Pittsburgh Steelers stadium, not the Titans, but it was fun to. Yeah, you said it is an eye opener to it made you realize just how much home field advantage is nice. Just ask our offensive line. We do like a bunch of false starts every time we're on the road. We do a bunch. But anyway,
Sadly, we're not afraid to do false starts at home either.
Yeah, we're a trash team. But anyway, and okay, I'm going to start off. I guess I'm going to say the scores here. You're right about a lot of stuff you said here, but I just think at the end of the day, I think Colts are a pretty decent team with a lot to fight for in the playoff spot. Titans are a crap team, and yes, we're home, but I'm going to pick the Colts here. I'm going to say we're going to lose 23-16.
Was that the same score last time?
Did I say Titans would win? Oh, is that what you mean last time we played the Colts?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, 99% sure that's what it was, 23-16. So you say both teams have different quarterbacks, affects nothing. Score-wise, it's still going to be 23-16, just like it was the first time. I lied.
You got.
Yeah, I lied. I said I've said the last couple of weeks that this would be the last time that I'm going to pick Titans to win.
You say that a lot.
No, I said it several times about the Panthers game. So I did pick the Panthers, or did pick us to beat the Panthers, which we did.
I think I picked them too.
Yeah, because Panthers are just awful.
Yeah, they are.
Panthers are so bad. But I think I'm gonna go Homer one more time. I'm gonna go Homer one more time and say that we put on a close match here. I say 1917.
1979.
Oh.
I
I don't know if
was
we get the game-winning drive where we kick a field goal where it was 16-17, we go up 19-17 last minute, or I don't know if we're 19-17 and then they have the ball and we're all nervous because they all get in field goal range and they kick a field goal and they could win at 2019, but we stop them or they throw a pick or they fumble. But go ahead.
I'll say this, I pick the Colts to win. It's not I feel really confident about it. Like, at most, I'm like 60% think that's going to happen. Like, it's not a huge thing for me. Titans do play better at home. I think if we beat the Panthers a little bit better, I would pick the Titans. But the fact
I
that we
agree.
tried to let the Panthers beat us is not a good
That's
sign.
that's the one thing, because originally I had it in my head yet before we started the video. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go Titans today. But just stopping and thinking about the fact that I agree, 17-10 against the worst team, you're at home, 17-10 is all you can do. And we
I remember
scored 17 points in the first half, 17. If we would have just kept that up, not even to that pace, just add 10 more points to it. Just 10, just a field goal and one touchdown in the second half. And then you're sitting there at 27-10. That would make me feel much more confident.
Yeah.
17, because we had been talking about this before. We could score some points at home. 27 against the Chargers,
Yes.
27 against the Bengals, 28 against the Falcons, and then 17.
I think the two things I'm going to tell you, the two stats that scare me why I pick Colts. One, Colts can get after the quarterback. Titans are good at allowing people to get to the quarterback. That's not good. Two, Colts turn the ball over defensively. Like they make forces the offense to turn the ball over. And I just feel like Will Levis, he's going to have a game with 3 or 4 picks eventually thrown the way he does. Like, he has so many balls that hit people's hands that they don't bring it down. This is, I don't know, under pressure. Colts can take the ball away. This feels like a game. I'm not saying 3 or 4 picks, but Will Levis is going to cough it up a couple of times, and we're going to lose because of that. That's just what my gut feeling is.
Let's put it this way, because like I said earlier, Gardner Minshew is also a turnover machine. I feel like whoever turns the ball over more loses.
The thing is that this is why, yes, you make a good point. The reason I say I picked the Colts because of that, Titans don't turn the ball over defensively. Like, we don't force turnovers.
Not very
Colts
often,
do.
no.
Colts do. So that's.
I still think we have 3 interceptions. We said it was Bunting has one, McCreary has one, and Hooker has one.
That's terrible at this point of the
I
season.
agree.
We are 42nd, obviously. That goes without saying. Like, that's pathetic. Like, honestly, like, I don't care you have a bin but don't play defense. You gotta force more than 3 turnovers picks. You just got to. That's unacceptable in my opinion.
Plus, to me, I think turnovers are such big momentum shifters.
Yes. I love turnovers. They're one of the most fun things to watch. I love watching my defense, create turnovers, but we just don't do it. We do force occasional fumble. We made Bryce Young fumble. We do that on occasion, but we don't pick the ball off. That's for sure. And Bryce Young throws picks. Not with us. Not against us, he didn't.
Nope.
So, yeah. But, yeah, you're right. That's what it's going to come down to. Minshew, Will Levis. Who's going to turn the ball over more? That's what it comes down to. I agree with that. Good assessment, though, Gable.
Thanks. Appreciate it. So, yeah, the game really could go either way. I mean, I just picked the Titans, but I'm leaning Colts. Colts are probably gonna win the game, but
let me tell you what it is.
My official prediction.
Let me tell you this: you're a homer, so you have to pick the Titans. It's just you can't.
I don't have to pick the Titans,
and you cannot pick against them. But it makes more sense for Colts to win this one.
It does make more sense for the Colts to win this one because I think they're slightly better than we are, and by slightly, I mean probably a good bit better. But
they double us and wins.
Yeah. What?
Don't they double us? Well, we're 4 wins, aren't we? I thought. Yeah, those 6.
I was saying they don't have 8 wins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though, and this is we're about to end this video. I wish we would have just pulled out some games, because if you think about it, we lost 1 point to the Saints, and the Saints didn't turn out to be that good. We had in my opinion, we shouldn't have gotten beat by the Bucs, even though we technically got beat by 2 touchdowns by the Bucs, 20-6.
We should not have. That was a pathetic game. Like, I think I agree. All the games for me to look at and what was that? That might be it, because Bucs ain't good, and we never was in that game.
No, they just had their way with us the whole time.
Yes, that game was the most head scratching. Like, you're garbage. What are you doing to me?
Yeah. But like even the Steelers game came down to the fact that if we would have stopped that last touchdown drive, or if Will Levis would have thrown it higher, where only Josh Wiley could get that last pass, like we were just that close to beating the Steelers. We were that close to beating the Saints. Technically, we weren't close to beating the Bucs at all.
Good teams find ways to win that, and we don't. Besides the Panthers, have we had a close game that we won, actually?
Yes, technically, because remember, Taylor Heineke just went off against us in the second half of the Falcons game.
That's a good point.
Actually, and then the Chargers game was overtime.
Yep, scratch everything I said. I'm gonna.
Yeah, so technically we've only had one blowout.
I would say this, even though the Falcons game, I remember, and this is such like, our defense couldn't make the stop, but man, they just dropped it on the fourth down. So it was and he was wide open, if you remember correctly. Like he was wide open, and so he's like, he dropped it. We won that game. Like, and our defense still didn't make a clutch stop. They got the stop. It was a dropped wide open pass.
Yeah, that was frustratingly, frustrating because, I mean, Will Levis just dealing out there, just throwing the ball down, just stupid throwing it down there, and somebody would run under it, and we get touchdowns. But then Taylor Heineke comes in and just shreds our defense. I think he scored how many points did he score? He may have scored like 20 points.
Yeah.
They scored 23. I don't remember how many they had in the first half.
I would admit, I did not trust our defense to make that stop at all. Like, they're not going to win it right here. And then again, they dropped it. They stopped themselves, not us stopping them.
Yeah. But anyways, hopefully we chase rabbits. Yeah.
We were supposed to be previewing a game about the Colts against the Titans, but then we like to talk about week 5. We're talking about week 2. We chase rabbits. Hey, that's what this channel is. Just two bros just shooting the breeze.
That's really what it is, because whenever we're hanging out, that's just what we do. We just shoot the breeze about Titans, just throwing out random stuff about 4 weeks ago, about 4 weeks from now, and it's just what we do. And now we decide to do it in front of a camera. So,
but to recap, I have Titans losing 23-16. You got
Titans winning 19-17. So hopefully I can come back here Sunday night and be like, boom, told you so, home slice.
Because again, if we win though, I'm not even sure I am like, we're 5-7.
I mean, 5-7. Woot woot. What's that gonna do for us?
The Jags, they could be a number 1 seed team. I don't know if they will be, but they could be. So I don't think we're catching them.
No, the only chance we have at any postseason hope this season is if we can slide into that 7th spot, because technically we're only 2 games out of the last playoff spot. But it's kind of one of those situations last year where the Panthers were sellers. They got rid of McCaffrey and all their good players, and then they just started winning and they stayed in the hunt for a really long time. So anyways, I guess before we start chasing any more rabbits or kicking any more dogs, we're gonna go ahead and end this thing. Hopefully, I was going to say hopefully Titans pull out a dub, but depends on how you want to look at it. I still can't help but root for them. The only time that I would openly root against Titans is if we had the number 1 pick. Yeah. Where if we won, we wouldn't have it anymore. If we lost.
What's annoying me about the Titans a little bit is we're getting stuck in that no man's land. Like, we're not making the playoffs, okay? But we got 4 wins already. You know what I mean? There's going to be so many teams with 1, 2, or 3 wins. So we're getting that. Good, thanks a lot of Titans. But we're getting that stuck between that 11th to 15th pick now. You know what I mean?
Especially if we win on Sunday, we'll have 5 wins. If we have 5 wins, then we're going to be picking about 7 best case scenario. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I guess we'll see what happens.
Yep.
Yeah, because the guy can already tell we're about to jump ourselves into a new conversation. So I guess that's all we got. Peace out. We'll talk to y'all Sunday night after the game to do a recap to see what happens. So peace out and all that jazz.